Welcome back. So today, in our work on Flora and Ulysses, we are going to make a chart. So again, you need either your journal or just a piece of paper. And what we're going to chart today is Flora's fears. I think that it is fair to say that Flora has a lot on her mind and that she worries about things a lot, right? And some of her fears seem like very grounded in reality and really about what's going on in her life. And some of them seem a little fantastical and a little bit comic book-ish. And I think that says a lot about who she is. So as readers wanting to understand our main character, it's worth thinking about. So the chart that I made, and I struggled with what to call these two columns. So it's a Flora's Fears T chart. And on one side I have unlikely, and on the other side I said happening. I don't know if that's the very best thing to call it, but what I meant by that was what are the little bit, fantastical comic book fears she has, and what are the things in her life that are happening that are true and difficult. Okay? So, for example, she has this idea in one of the more recent chapters that her mother is the evil villain, right? Her mother is this villain who must be vanquished, right? So I'm going to put that in unlikely. Mother, or I'll just put mom, is an evil villain. Okay? Kind of unlikely. You may or may not love Flora's mom as a character right now, but I think to call her an evil villain is a little bit much. What's really happening with her mom? Well, she's not paying a lot of attention to Flora. She's not appreciating her. That's real. So I'm going to put that in the happening column or the real column. Not paying attention or accepting Flora. Do you see how they're kind of about the same thing, but one is a little more realistic than the other? This is what we're trying to get at with Flora today. So what else does Flora worry about? If you want to pause the video and just think about it a little bit, you could do that. One of the things that she says is the world is a treacherous place, which is kind of dramatic and comic booky. So I'm going to put that under the unlikely. The world is a treacherous place. Like that. Now, what is really true in her world and just in the world in general? Hard things happen in life, right? Like this pandemic that we're dealing with right now. It's a hard thing that's happening. It's not an evil villain come to take over the world, but it is difficult. So I think in the more realistic, we could say hard things, sad things happen in life or in the world. Less dramatic, but kind of about the same thing. Do you see what I'm getting at now? So what are some other things that Flora says that are very dramatic? Well, she does have this idea that Marianne the lamp knows something that she doesn't know. Remember that part? So Marianne, or you could just put the lamp. Is keeping a secret from her, or is keeping secrets. So that's her kind of dramatic, unlikely idea. What about the lamp is really true that could be bothering her? Well, her mom loves this stinking lamp, right? And right now her mom is not paying a ton of attention to her. She's not being very nice to her. So she's feeling like my mom cares more about this lamp than she does about me. Now, I'm sure that's not true, but it is the way her mom's acting right now. So what's actually happening? Mom is showing more care or love for the lamp than Flora. Now, if I'm going too fast, you just pause this video and take the time you need to get caught up. Okay? So, what else does she talk about that's a little bit fanciful? Well, she also has this idea that William Spiver might be a villain. So let's add that to the unlikely. William Spiver is a villain. Okay, I don't think William Spiver's a villain, but there are some things about William Spiver that might be bothering her a little bit, right? So what is she thinking about William Spiver? What does William Spiver do? Well, he's kind of getting in her space a little bit, right? He wants to be around her. He wants to talk to her. He's putting his hand on her shoulder so that she can lead him around. And then even after they've got where they're going, he's still got his hand on her shoulder. So he's kind of in her space. So I'm going to put in the actually happening, William Spiver is in her space. Okay? Okay. What else? She does worry that her father is in cahoots with her mom when the mom tells him to kill Ulysses. And she talks about how her father would make a good spy because he's always answering questions with more questions. So she's a little afraid, at one point at least, that her dad is a spy and also kind of a partner in crime with her mom. Okay? Now, he's not a spy, and he's not a criminal of any sort or a villain. But what is he doing that's bothering Flora? Well, he's very sad and gotten even more quiet and withdrawn since the divorce. And he's divorced. He's not living there anymore. So she's not getting as much attention and relationships from him. That's what's really happening. So over in that actually happening column, we can put that he is maybe more distant, more lonely, and quiet. And she says sad too. And all of those things are really bothering her. So So I think when we make this list, what we kind of discover about Flora is that there are a lot of things in her life that are kind of difficult right now. Her parents' divorce is not that old, so that's still painful. She's not getting to spend as much time with her dad because he doesn't live there, and that's painful. She's noticed that he's gotten more lonely and more sad, and that's painful. And her mom is spending all of her time writing her romance novels and showing more affection for a lamp than she is to Flora. So she has all these fantastical things that she thinks are going on. But I think really it's kind of her way of dealing with all of the real things that are going on that are really painful. And maybe it's easier for her to think in this comic book way than it is for her to deal with those real things. So, interesting thoughts about Flora. Comment below or send me an email if you have more things that you feel that I've missed. I would love to hear that. And thank you for your good work today. We will see you soon. Bye.